I believe in living in 4 domains: respect, integrity, character, honor. And that actually spells rich. So people ask me, like, how do you stay rich? Because I have respect, integrity, character, honor.
All right, do you mind breaking down each of those of how you actually make sure that you hold to those?
Yeah, so number 1, respect means I'm gonna respect myself. Like not holding my tongue about something, not being afraid to express something, not being afraid to make sure I'm respecting myself. And it could be with the foods, it could be, did you drink water today, Stormy? You know, did you eat some fruits or some vegetables today, Stormy? Did you stay true to yourself today, Stormy? So I believe before you can respect anybody else, you have to have self-respect, okay?
I love that you've kind of broken down the respect even in different categories in your life. So like, I will respect my body. Okay, what does respect in my body look like?
Exactly.
Feed it well, fuel it well. I want to respect my mind.
Exactly.
What does that mean? Have I given it space? Am I people pleasing?
Exactly.
Am I setting boundaries? Am I not setting boundaries? I freaking love that. So let's say you disrespect yourself by allowing someone to talk to you in a manner that disrespects you. How would you then handle it? Because the reason why I want to ask is because a lot of my audience, and myself included, find it quite difficult sometimes to set boundaries, stand up for ourselves. And when you don't stand up for yourself, what are you saying to yourself? That you put yourself last, that person that's talking to you actually takes priority over you. And so I think that over time, that feeling makes you feel like you're not priority. So I love the self-care. I love putting yourself first and making sure that you are respected. So how do you, if someone disrespects you, how would you approach it? Or give us an example, because this is literally the thing that I think most of us struggle with that stops us from becoming the freaking badass like you.
So when we say the truth,
yes, always.
First, I curse myself out. Like really, I'm talking about like I call myself every name that you could think of. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you stupid? Why did you allow that? Because whatever you tolerate will persist. And if you allow one person to do it, you will allow everybody to do it. And that lowers your vibration. I am a badass. And I am someone that treats other people with respect. Like, I'm gonna do my very best. Like, I'm gonna say please. I'm gonna say thank you. If I ask you to, hey, grab me that water, and I realized that I didn't say please or thank you, I would go back later on and say, did I say please? Did I say thank you? Oh my God, I didn't really mean that. I'm so sorry. And so I am very cognizant of how I show up. And so for me, it's like, if I allow you to treat me any kind of way, that means I'm opening the door for that treatment from everybody. And I used to be that girl. I used to be that girl that let them say anything and do anything. And then what I would do is beat myself up. And I would treat myself like I was dirt. And I realized, no, but let me tell you something. When you stand up for yourself, you don't have to do it in a mean way. I go, hey, how you doing? Yesterday you said something to me and I really want to know, what were you trying to say? Because it's been bothering me. And I can't stop thinking about it. And I don't want my mind to be occupied with the thought of what you said to me yesterday. So I know that you love me, I love you. Because if we're in proximity, I care about you and you care about me. I don't just let anybody around. So if you say something that's out of line or didn't sit well with me, I will ask. So like my operations director, she's a Latino woman. And I love her to pieces. She is amazing. And sometimes I remind her that you're Latino, but I'm a Black girl. And I would say to her, if she says something that doesn't sit well, I would say, okay, in my community, you don't say those type of things. Let me explain to you what that meant. And she'll say, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. And I'm saying, okay, that's what it meant. So communication, words mean different things to different people, you know? And so ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And there's a lot of relationships I believe could have been salvaged to this very day if we just communicate, like, let's talk. So I feel empowered, Lisa, when I defend myself, when I respect myself. And respecting yourself is, I don't like what you said. Like, I'm in a relationship. If my guy did something I don't like, I won't say it right on the spot. I will let some time pass because I don't want to sound like the aggressive woman. I'll let some time pass and then I'll say, hey babe, what did you mean by that? I know that you wouldn't say anything to hurt me intentionally, but it's been on my mind. And you'll be surprised how that alone will bring your relationship closer together, and that person will respect you more because you have boundaries and you set, respect for yourself. So that's important, and it's important more for you than it is for that person because it makes you realize that you're not just taking anything. And then you'll do this with your boss, with your friends, with your coworkers, with your man, with your wife, because you now know that it's okay. Just don't be confrontational.
I love that so much. And the fact that you don't lower yourself to their level actually, in fact, you give someone the grace, like with your Latina friend, where it's like, give her the grace that she didn't necessarily mean it. But let me teach her, let me say it. You didn't swallow your own opinions, which I think is also powerful because again, if you swallow it, you're telling yourself that you're less important. So the fact that you vocalized it, the fact that you gave her the grace to educate her was wonderful. But then the other side of it is that you don't, if someone did, let's say, even mean it and they meant to disrespect you, you don't lower yourself to their level. And I think that that's the key because most people don't have the courage to speak up. And when I personally found the courage to speak up and set a boundary, I sounded like the freaking chihuahua that was just barking because, and it doesn't come across well. No. Now you're the one that's emotional. Now you then get pigeonholed emotional. So the fact that you're able to do it with transparency, honesty, respect, I think almost doesn't give really anyone else a place to go except for either greet you with a respect or push back.
Listen, let me tell you a great way too. What did you mean by that? I touched the person. Listen, yesterday you really hurt my feelings. And I know that you would never do that intentionally. Watch this. Even if I know they did it intentionally, I would say, what did you mean by that? That really hurt my feelings. And it gives you such this power. So touch them. Because listen, when you feel powerless, you can't do anything. And when you allow someone to make you feel powerless, listen, when your emotions is high, your logic is low. And so we don't have that type of time. So when you are vulnerable with pain and vulnerable with something that offended you, and you tell somebody else, it also makes them look at you like, wow, she has feelings. Because sometimes us strong women come across like nothing bothers us. Nothing bothers us. We're okay. Everything is just no problem. No, that hurt my feelings. No, that offended me. And so respect starts with first respecting yourself, right? So integrity. Integrity is very high on my list. I'll give you a good one. You pee on the toilet seat by mistake. Wipe the toilet seat off. Like when we finish, I gotta flush the toilet upstairs. I can't stop thinking about that. No.
It automatically flushes.
Okay, well,
so
see,
you're good.
I can't, thank you, so I can get it off my mind. You see, it's on my mind, like what's good? It needs to flush. That's integrity. Integrity is, I know I didn't flush the toilet, I need to flush it. Integrity is, the paper dropped on the floor, I dropped it, pick it up. Back in the days, I used to say, you know, when you litter, you're giving somebody a job. Now I say, no, respect Mother Earth. This is Mother Earth. Don't throw a paper on the floor. So integrity is saying what you mean, meaning what you say, and living your message. Your message. I think the messenger has to become the message. And a lot of people, they talk, but the message doesn't align with the messenger. So integrity for me is everything. I believe that your character and integrity could take you places and keep you places that hustle and money can.
Oh, dude, so the integrity thing, let's just talk about that for a second, because I'd heard the word, I kind of knew what it meant. I am living in integrity until one person made it so succinct, almost like a math equation, that I was like, that's super easy to remember. How you think, does it echo what you say? And then what you say, does it echo what you act? And so I now almost on a daily go, oh, I thought this, did I act in accordance? And it's made me have some very uncomfortable conversations. So I'm actually in this big text chain with a lot of people. And it was just, it started to feel out of alignment. Like people originally were like being there to support each other. And then it just became a like, who's got the biggest following? And you know, it just became very, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm in alignment anymore with how I feel about the text chain and how I respond to the text chain. And so I just very consciously had to say, all right, Lisa, what does alignment look like to you? And instead of beating myself up over the fact that I'm doing it, just stop and pause and say, what does it look like? And then act in freaking accordance, even if it's hard. And so I said, oh, it just means being honest and not saying anything that I really don't believe it's true. And if this doesn't feel in alignment with me, don't respond to the text chain and just, you know, silence the text chain. And so that gave me the actions, right? So thinking about what integrity means, then painting the picture of what integrity looks like, and then taking the action so that at the end of the day, when you're by yourself, you can be proud of yourself.
I was just gonna say that. To me, people have to put more credit on being proud of yourself. Like, are you proud of yesterday? If you're not proud of yesterday, do something different today. You know, no matter what happens today, know that tomorrow is coming. So do everything today to make tomorrow better. That's integrity. Integrity is, I gained 30 pounds and I don't feel good about it. Let me do something about it. For me, integrity is doing what you say you're gonna do even when nobody is looking. And so that for me, I think has made me consistent, because I don't ever want to be looked upon as a liar. So I purposely also, let me tell you what I do. I put things out there. Like, for example, the mission of my life is to be one of the most impactful women that ever lived. You can't say that, and then the minute you get an impact, because impact attracts attacks, right? So you can't say you're gonna be impactful and somebody hurts your feelings and you quit. Or you're gonna be so impactful, but something didn't go your way and you quit. You're fake. So I talk to myself like that. Like, I don't have to wait for somebody to tell me, you're fake. No, because I would tell myself, oh, you're gonna be the most impactful woman that ever lived, but you lazy. Oh, no, the impactful woman wakes up in the morning and meditates. So I also do personal development every morning. I listen to some type of audiobook on YouTube University. So when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, like, let's say yesterday morning I slept into like 7:30. I didn't do my personal development at 6:30 like normal, but I still did it at 11. Nobody knew. That's my own personal integrity measure, okay? Character, that's everything. Character is why I'm sitting here with you. If I didn't have good character when I saw you, I met you almost 3 years ago. I could have been a BITCH and you could be like, who is that lady? I don't care if she's the best network marketer. Who cares? It's something about my countenance and my character and how I showed up that made you say, bring her over here. Let me interview her. So I'm big on character. I think that character shows up when you're not even talking. Character is your body language. Character is the things you also say. You know, character is, can you be trusted, you know, with your blessings? That's big to me. You know, a lot of people start having success and you can't be trusted anymore. They have nasty attitudes. They treat people mean. I'm gonna treat the bus boy like I treat the owner of the building. I'm gonna say, please, thank you, I appreciate you. I try to look people in the eyes all the time. Like, my character to me is why I continue to elevate.
Did you write that out before, or did that evolve over time? Because I don't think people have utter awareness of how they show up and how their character is. Like, it's almost like people just, I think, have the idea that my character is who I show up to be. But it seems like you're so damn deliberate. So how did you become so deliberate in your character?
So I believe that man is maker of himself.
Okay.
Man is made and unmade by his daily choices, actions, and decisions. I tell you, you know, there was a time where a lot of people said a lot of things about me that I didn't like. And so I started to observe, okay, it's a lot of people saying things that I don't like.
Do you mind sharing what they were?
Yeah, like, I tell you, like, I am a very aggressive businesswoman. Like, in my network marketing company, people call me like a drill sergeant, right? And I don't think I'm a drill sergeant. I just think I don't want to be broke another day in my life. And if I meet you and I'm working with you, we have work to do, right? But I also don't like how that feels. I didn't like how that felt. I didn't like how people would say that. And I started to realize, Stormy, be a drill sergeant for you. Be your drill sergeant. If she doesn't want to be pushed that aggressively, don't do it. So when I kept hearing, like, drill sergeant, she's mean. And I'm not mean, I'm just direct. So I said, okay, I don't like that 20 people are saying the same things about me. Something has to be true about it. I take responsibility. Too many people are saying these things about me. Okay, Stormy, so what are you gonna do about it? So I read this book called The Untethered Soul, and it's really about observing yourself. So I looked at myself, I said, okay, Stormy, that is a little aggressive. Like, at one point, I wouldn't eat on Mondays.
Just wouldn't eat?
No food on Mondays. And that was my belief. But I kind of, when I want to do something, I want you to do it too. So everybody around me, nobody eats on Mondays. That's not character, that's not integrity. I don't want to eat on Monday. That don't have nothing to do with you. If you don't want to eat on Mondays, if you want to eat on Monday, eat. So I observed myself and I realized that Stormy pushed them to the level that they want to be pushed. I realized, like, okay, I might not eat fried chicken, but that ain't got nothing to do with you. If you want to eat Popeye's chicken, by all means, I'm not going to tell you what to do. So as I started to observe myself up against the things people would say about me, even when I would go back and watch my lives, I would notice, like, when I would do a live, certain lives sound like I'm mad or I'm mean or I'm cursing somebody out. And I'm like, oh, I don't like how that look. Or I would get into somebody's energy, or I'll come around somebody and I'll be like, oh, I don't like how she acts. I don't like how she makes people feel. And so I would say to myself, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to show up like that. And so I really designed myself to be exactly who and how I am. Like, I designed myself. It's not like a default. And then I watch myself. And let me tell you what I do. I don't know if you do this, but I want to share this with all of you all. When you're growing and you start, like, reading books and getting around new people, you start to hear what you would have said versus what you say. Does that
Oh,
happen to you?
yes, all the time.
Really? I got goosebumps. So, like, I would have been like, fucking bitch. But then I'd be like, hey, girl, how you doing? And I'd be like, wow, Stormy. And I celebrate myself internally at the moment. So if somebody does something to offend me, I hear what I would have did. But then the new me says, what did you mean by that? So I really observe myself. It's like I hear the other voice and then I hear the new voice.
Yes.
Does that happen to you?
Yes. In fact, it happened fairly recently. I was watching some sort of TV show or something. I hadn't seen some actor or something in a long time. And immediately, so as soon as I saw them, they put on a lot of weight. And so immediately in my head, I was like, whoa, they've put on weight. And I caught my thought and I was like, how judgmental are you, Lisa?
There you go. So
and
good.
in that
Oh my
moment,
God.
I was like, how often did I do it in the past and didn't realize?
Yes.
So the fact that I caught myself, I caught the judgment, and then I processed why in that real time. And I was like, why do you do this? I was like, oh, because it makes you feel better about yourself when you're feeling badly.
Wow.
And so having that acknowledgement then made me go, why do you feel badly about yourself? So the thought before would have just been an external thing that I'm thinking to judge someone else. But in real time, I caught the thought, I acknowledged the thought, I processed the thought, I identified the thought, and then came to my own sensitive conclusion of like, oh, right now you don't feel good about yourself.
Wow.
Amazing. So what are you going to do to feel good about yourself instead of commenting about some poor person on, you know, some poor woman who's put on weight on camera? It's like, well, you know, stop judging. So it really helped me. But I love that you said that because I think that does come with the growth, is that you go from thinking it and never even realize you're thinking it to then acknowledge it and think, and it actually influences you to act differently.
Exactly. So good. I feel good about myself. So I do that all the time. And then H is honor.
Thank you for taking us through the riches.
Yes. I'm not going to forget. I believe your life truly becomes a manifestation of the people, the things that you honor and that you dishonor. Meaning, a lot of people don't honor people that's been good to them. Like, never forget those that helped you in your time of need, those that hurt you in your time of need, and those that left you in your time of need.
Ooh.
Like, so I name my years, right? So this year and last year is I'm bad, B-A-D, B-A-A-D, bold, aligned, ascending, and debt-free. And debt-free doesn't mean money. Debt-free means, Stormy, don't forget everything you said you was gonna do. Don't forget everybody that helped you along the way. So like I tell you, about 3 weeks ago, I went to the Next Level Mastermind that Eric and Marina Worry had at their home.
I love them so much.
I love
Big
them.
shout out to the Worries.
I love them. And when they saw me, I saw Marina get her eyes got a little teary. And I could tell she didn't think, like, they were surprised I was there. I got goosebumps. Like, y'all changed my life. How could I not be here? Like, if I'm not here, you first of all, you would know. You're not gonna look up and you're like, where's Stormy? I honor them. I honor the role they played in my life. So not only did I need the wisdom, but I also need y'all to know that I'm gonna be the person that you are gonna know that you can rely on to always be there. I just take pride in knowing that I'm making somebody else feel good about their contribution to my life, you know? So honor to me is everything. Be careful of who you dishonor. I still believe in honor your mother and the father. I still believe in that. I still believe in honoring and respecting the people that are older than you, that are more smarter than you, that are more wiser than you. I still believe in the honor system. I believe that a part of why I'm so blessed, like last week I bought my dad a new car. My dad is 76. Every 3 years he gets a new Range Rover, right? And last week he goes by himself to trade it in, and he was gonna get a black Range Rover with a black top with no sunroof, right? And I don't know why he was afraid to tell me, but my best friend was at my house and she goes, I need to tell you something. I said, what's wrong? She said, your dad doesn't want that Range Rover he's getting. I'm like, well, why would he? So apparently the salesman was moving fast and just wanted to get him the car. So I said, first of all, thank you for telling me. So we went to the car lot and I said, Dad, listen to me. I'm getting this car for you because it makes me proud to know that as your daughter, I could afford to do these things for you. But it also makes me feel good to know that you are happy with what you got. Dad, what do you want? I said, tell me exactly what you want, because that's what I want to get for you. He said, I want a white Range Rover, I want beige seats, I want a sunroof, and I want a baseboard. I turned to the salesman, and I said, you heard what he said? Lisa, we went upstairs. It was one car, the exact one that my dad wanted. And I said, Dad, this is what I'm talking about. It's not the money. I want you to be proud. He's 76 years old. He's on 0 medication. And I want to tell you, I could see his new life now. He gets dressed up. He feels like a kid in his new car. So for me, that's my dad. I messed up his credit when I was 15 years old. Well, not 15, when I was 18 years old, he bought a car for me and his credit score was 850. I messed up his credit. He never ridiculed me for it. I can never forget that. He taught me how to drive. When I opened up my first business, he gave me money. And I mentioned to him, Dad, I said, Dad, I remember what I did. He was like, you remember that? I said, Dad, you know why I take care of you? You think you think I'm gonna forget? And this is not my biological dad. My biological dad is around. But my stepdad, which is my brother's dad, which is my dad, is the one who taught me everything. So I love my dad, but I do treat my other dad a little different because he's the one who was there for me. And for me, Lisa, that's honor. My mom is deceased. If you walk into my house, I have an altar with her picture. I have some of her favorite snacks there. I put candles there. I buy fresh flowers every week. She passed away in 2011. I have a picture of her outside. I talk to the picture. I believe she's here with me right now. She's probably sitting right here right now. That's honor. You know, my mom never had a chance to become a millionaire. My mom never drove a Rolls Royce. My mom never had millions of dollars in the bank. My mom never made an impact like I've been able to impact. So for me, my life is honoring my mom. And I would live like that to the day I die. And I think that's a part of why I stay disciplined, because I have to honor the people that helped me in my time of need. The owner of my company helped me in my time of need. I remind him all the time, you're always gonna have me to count on. I know people left you. I know people, mimicked your company and left. But because I am a woman of integrity and good character, I am gonna continue to be here. And so I think that keeps me disciplined, my level of honor.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you click right here to catch the full episode.
I used to be that girl. I used to be that girl that let them say anything and do anything. And then what I would do is beat myself up. And I would treat myself like I was dirt. And I realized, no, you could be